skin simply slips away. You can rise above it. It was shared easily. It all will come out fine. I've learned it line by line. One coming wire, one silver thread. All that you desire grows on ahead. Like a ship in a bottle, held up to the sun. Sails ain't going nowhere. You can count everyone until it crashes into the earth, simply slips away. You can hide in the open or just disappear. It all will come out fine. I've learned it line by line. One coming wire, one silver thread. All that you desire rolls on ahead. Ours is just a craving and a twist of the wrist. We'll undo the stopper, the abrupt tenderness. Time is barrow and awake, singing. It all will come out fine. I've learned it line by line. One coming wire, one silver thread. All that you desire rolls on ahead. Grateful. So I imagine that in these few days, that all of the speakers and all of you, and certainly spearheaded by Ralph, there will be many new ideas in how to build new infrastructure for change and communication in our future. And these things, at first, for my generation or someone like me, a bit daunting. All of the technology, all of the social media, some of it seems somewhat overwhelming, even negative, but there's also so many positive uses of our technology in a way to bring so many people together, to get people motivated at the same moment. There's a lot of exciting things. It's a pioneering time, a time of transition, but I still think simultaneously we must cherish the things that are beautiful, our parents' time, our grandparents' time, history, all of history, because history is part of what makes us who we are. And as we advance in this new time, this technological age, we we can't forget how we, what brought us here, all the people that fought to get us to this point. So I'd like to do a little song. The song is called Dream. It's by Neil Young. It's a very nostalgic song, somewhat different than some of Neil Young's songs. For my generation, Neil Young was very important in bringing some of the most difficult aspects of our time to the forefront with songs like Ohio, after the Kent State killings of these young students who were gathering for peace and to end the war in Vietnam. This is a very different little song, and it's called Dream. In the morning when I wake up, look at the stars and the birds outside on the roof. I try not to read what the papers say. I try not to hear all the news. And I'll hold you if you have a bad dream. And I hope it never comes true. 'Cause you and I've been through many things together, and the sun slides over the roof. It's a dream, only a dream, and it's fading now, fading away. Only a dream, just a memory without anywhere to say. The Red River flows through my hometown, rolling and tumbling on its way, curling around the old dusty pylons while a boy fishes the morning away. His bicycle leans on an oak tree while the cars rumble over ahead. An airplane traces the empty blue sky while the birds cry out to be fed. It's a dream, only a dream, and it's fading now, fading away. Only a dream, just a memory without anywhere to stay. An old man walks along the sidewalk, bandana and an old Stetson hat. His coat is open by the wind while he stops with a neighbor to chat. And a train pulls out of the station that was really something in its day, picking up steam on the straight prairie rails as it I came on a train this morning from New York City, where we live, and I wanted to mention that because Jesse and I travel so much, it seems like we live in a million places, but our home is in New York City, and we're going to read a little poem that Walt Whitman wrote for New York City, because it was also his home. And Walt Whitman has much residence in Washington. He served, and he was a nurse to soldiers during the Civil War. He was Abraham Lincoln's favorite poet, even though Whitman was quite controversial, often censored, and for his openly embracing his homosexuality, and that courage, and I'm sure it took a lot of courage in the 19th century, inspired many other artists and poets, in particular Allen Ginsberg, who followed his path as an activist and as a poet of the people. So we'd like to read his homage to New York City, a city built on the shoulders of immigrants, something that we should not forget. Sorry. Mannahatta. I was looking for something specific and perfect for my city, a certain name, whereupon lo, upsprang your aboriginal name, Mannahatta. Now I see what there is in a name, a word, liquid, sane, unruly, musical, self-sufficient. I see that the word of my city is that word up there, Mannahatta. Because I see that word nested in nests of water bays, superb, with tall and wonderful spires, rich, hemmed, thick all around with sail ships and steamships, an island, 16 miles long, solid founded, numberless crowded streets, high growth of iron, slender, strong, light, splendidly uprising toward clear skies, tides swift and ample, well loved by me towards sundown. The flowing sea currents, the little islands, larger adjoining islands, the heights, the villas, the countless masts, the white shore steamers, the lighters, the ferry boats, the Black Sea steamers, all well modeled, the downtown streets, the jobbers' house of business, the houses of business of the ship merchants and money brokers, and the river streets. Immigrants arriving, 15 or 20,000 in a week, the carts hauling goods, a manly race of drivers of horses, the brown-faced sailors, the summer air, the bright sun shining, and the sailing clouds aloft, the winter snows, the sleigh bells, the broken ice in the river, passing along up and down with the blood and the flood tide and the ebb tide, the mechanics of the city, the masters, well-formed, beautiful faces, looking you straight in the eyes, the trotters, the vehicles, Broadway, the women, the shops, the shows, the parades, the processions, the bugles playing, the flags flying, drums beating, a million people, manners free and superb, open voices, hospitality, courageous and friendly, the free city, no slaves, no owners of slaves, the beautiful city, the city of the hurried and sparkling waters, the city of spires, the city of mass, the city nested in bays, Mannahatta, my city. This is a little song called My Blakean Year. And I wrote this song in honor of William Blake at a time when I imagined that I was going through a great period of strife. But one strife is never as great as another's. All you have to do is read the news or look at your neighbor and see that your strife is manageable in compared to others. And William Blake, as an artist in the late 18th century, early 19th century, he was an activist, fought for women's rights, fought for children's rights, really lobbied against the idea of having children labor in factories, sometimes till midnight, chimney sweeps. And little old children, a chimney sweep in the time of William Blake had about a lifespan of about 12 years old. And he voiced all of these things. And in fact, he actually just escaped hanging for using his voice too loud. And it was William Blake who, when he heard the English were after him, told Thomas Paine he better get out of town because they were coming for him, and Thomas Paine skipped to Paris. But William Blake, in his lifetime, an artist, a visionary, a poet, was hardly appreciated in his lifetime, and died poverty-stricken, but always filled with enthusiasm for his work, for his visions, for his political ideals, for his art. And I always think of him whenever I feel a little down or unappreciated. No matter how unappreciated I feel, I'll never be as unappreciated as William Blake. So anyway, a little song for him. In my Blakean year, I was so disposed for the mission yet unclear, advancing pole by pole, marching breathed into my ear, obey this simple code. When road was paved in gold, when road was just a road. In my Blakean year, such a woeful schism to pain in our existence was not as I envisioned. Boots that train from track to track, worn down to the soul. When road was paved in gold, when road was just a road. In my Blakean temptation, yet a hiss, just a shallow spear, road in cowardice. Brace yourself for bitter flack, for a life to find, a labyrinth of riches never shall unwind. The tears that bind the pilgrim sack stitched into the Blakey and back. So throw out your stupid cloak, embrace all that you fear, 'cause joy will conquer all despair in my Blakey year. So throw out your stupid cloak, embrace all that you fear, 'cause joy will conquer all despair in my Blakey year, in my Blakey year. Thank you. In the discussion of censorship, I was thinking, this is something, of course, that artists have been, dealing with, fighting, for centuries. And in my own experience, I've had quite a few songs censored. This particular song that we were going to do, the record company wanted it as a single because they thought it would be popular, but they objected to a word in it, so they bleeped it. So when you heard the song, went bleep, da-da-da-da, and it was ludicrous, really. And they kept saying, couldn't you change that word to swimming or, wading? And I said, no, it's not about swimming. So, because swimming is more smooth sailing. Anyway, I didn't change it, and it was a failure, and that was okay. I didn't mind that at all, because I did it the way I wanted to do it, and I'm still doing it. But I think there's something even worse than censorship, and that's being ignored. And I think that we have to be very careful of what our media and social media is doing. I mean, we always had to be careful, but now it's not just media, it's social media. It's the whole conglomerate, which is massive, sometimes overwhelming and quite insidious. And sometimes we don't even realize how it's shaping our opinion. I think that my worst for myself, as a, just a citizen, when we knew that the Bush administration were planning to go into Iraq in March, in January we organized, some of us organized 2 massive gatherings here, and we, I think there was about 150,000, 100,000. It was a sizable and honorable gathering of people who were opposed to the Bush administration going into Iraq. And we were, well, I'd like to clap about that, but I also went to Italy, where there was at least 1.2 million, in France, where there was several 100,000, and also in London. I went to several countries, and we had the smallest showing in America. But we did have a strong showing, and we were promised by CNN, by Wolf Blitzer actually, that we could speak for maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, however many minutes, and about the rally, about this, the importance of it, and what our feelings about the Bush administration going into Iraq were. We came in early, a couple days early, and we were canceled. We were canceled because there, of course, was the terrible incident of the sniper, and which was a real incident, but not an incident that needed 24 hours of coverage. We only wanted a few minutes, and we waited, and so we were first it was breaking news, and then the next day there was more breaking news, and then we were promised again, and then they were, I'm sorry to relive this, but, and talk so inarticulately, but I'm sort of inarticulate anyway. It's part of my MO. It's how I make a living. But in any event, they caught the sniper, and it was a terrible thing, but they caught him. And then we were canceled because they needed to discuss that for 24 hours on CNN. And so then we said, well, will you at least say something on the band that goes at the bottom, you know, saying, for anyone who doesn't know about it, or anyone who wants to come, or just to let people know that we are doing this, that those across America are being represented, but they didn't have any room for that. So in any event, being ignored is sometimes worse than being censored. With censored, at least if you're censored, there's some kind of public outcry. Sometimes there's people know about it, and there's a dialogue. There's, you know, there's some kind of communication. But when you're just completely ignored, no one, it's like you don't exist. But we do exist. We existed then, we exist now. And each of us are a thorn. And we will use our little thorn, we'll poke them and poke them and poke them until they bleed. We are not giving up. Kissing in a river, watching it rise, tattooed fingers shy away from me. Voices, voices mesmerize. Voices, voices beckon and see. Come, 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 come back, come back, come back, come back. Spoke of a wheel, tip of a spoon, mouth of a cave. I'm a slave, I'm free. When are you coming? Hope you come soon. Fingers, fingers encircling thee. Come, 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 come back, come back, come back, come back. My body's aching, excreting your soul. What more can I give you? Baby, I don't know. What more can I do here to make this thing grow? Don't turn your back now, 'cause I'm talking to you. Should I pursue a path so twisted? Should I crawl, defeated and gifted? Should I go the length of the river, the royal, the throw, the crimey river? Everything I done for you. All I give my life for you. Every move I made, I moved for you. And then I came like a magnified you now. Oh, what about it? You're gonna leave me. Oh, what about it? You don't need me. Oh, what about it? I can't live without you. What about it? I never doubted you.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Swimming in a river, just swimming down the have the same. It's funny. I always think whether I say anything or not, I always think of our great activists when I sing that song, because all over the world, I meet people who are. Sometimes people will say something nice to me, like I do some kind of activist work. To me, no, there are real activists who really spend their whole life in service to the people. And it's like one of the most beautiful and thankless tasks you can imagine. And I remember when my daughter and I were touring with Ralph and going to rallies and going from town to town with Ralph. And one of the things that he said to us, which I'll never forget, is when you're in this kind of active duty, you can't just be ready to win, win, win. You have to be ready to lose, 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 and keep fighting. Get up and keep fighting. This is just a little song. It's just a little song dedicated to all the things that Ralph and all of us cherish, whether it's social justice, our earth, our water, our air, and all of it under the beautiful blanket of truth. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? 'Cause I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life through, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you. Like, shall we do that?
I didn't know what was next.
Oh, just that part? Oh, well, we'll do that part again. Sorry, I forgot what I was supposed to do. Like a river flows slowly to the sea, darling, so it goes. 'cause I can't help falling in love with you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've been really nice. I know I didn't really have any specific talk or anything, and it's probably a good thing because I can be quite the rambler. So this is, it's like Phil. We watched, and it was like being at his show. So this is our little show, the Patti Jesse show for you. So,
Yeah.
this last song that we're going to do, this was, my father really hated rock and roll, and he did like the car I bought him, but he really hated rock and roll. Except for this song. It was his favorite thing that I ever did, and of course I didn't do it alone. I wrote this song with Jesse's father, and Jesse's father, Fred Sonic Smith, was very active, a very strong revolutionary leader in the 60s, a great thinker, and he wanted to write a song that all people across the world could use to inspire them and incite them to action. He never lived long enough to see that happen, but I have. I have seen people sing this song for just a bevy of important causes all over the world, in Spain, in Italy, in Greece, for Vote for Change. Just recently in Paris, U2 sang it after the massacre in the Bataclan, and I think that he would loved all of this, and I know that he would have loved also that it was a theme song of sorts for Ralph when we campaigned with him. So I think of three men. I think of Fred, who wrote the music and came and had the concept of the song. I think of my father, who loved it, and Ralph, who lives it. Well, of an aspect bright and fair, and my sleeping, it was broken, but my dream, it lingered near, in the farm of shining valleys, where the pure air rarefied, and my senses newly opened, I awaken into the cry that the people have the power to redeem the work of fools. Upon the meek, the grace is showered. It's decreed the people rule. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Yeah. Racial aspects became suspect and read to know as if to hear. And the armies ceased advancing because the people had their ear. And the shepherds and the soldiers, well, they lay beneath the stars, exchanging visions, laying arms to war. have the power. People have the power. Believe it. Where there were deserts, I saw fountains, and like cream, we could do it. Watch. Where there were deserts, we'll do twice. Where there were deserts, I saw fountains, and like cream, the waters rise, and we strode there together. We none to laugh or criticize, and then the leopard and the lamb that lay together. I turned around when I was hoping, in my hoping, to recall what I found. I was dreaming, in my dreaming, God knows, a pure view. But I surrender into my sleeping. I commit my dream to you. Come on. People have the power. Well, you know what? We have the power to get back. Because you're supposed to sing "People have the Power" because I have another part. People. Well, I'm sorry. People have the power to dream. People have the power to vote. People have